Andrew Lester, the bigoted elderly white male who tried to kill a 16-year-old child, makes his appearance in court. Let's go to that.
Andrew Lester, 84 years old, walking into the courtroom after coming into the courthouse through a private secured entrance, walking in with a cane, walking in slowly, basically sitting first in the jury box before proceedings started. Once they did, he and his defense attorney, who did not state his name for the record, but we're working to find it, walked right up to the judge's bench. Lester speaking softly, so it may have been so the two of them could hear each other. Again, kind of the big headlines from this, he pleaded not guilty in this shooting, faced with multiple felony counts for the Thursday shooting of 16-year-old Ralph Yarl. He also was told by the judge of certain conditions of his bond. Among them, he has to report within 24 hours to a bond supervision company. They'll visit once every month at least. After that, he has to turn over any weapons that he has to police. He cannot have a concealed carry permit. He said he does have one, so he'll turn that over as well. And then finally, and of course we expected this, he can have no contact with Ralph Yarl and his family. His attorney saying they will work with authorities immediately to make sure all of those procedures are followed.
Let's put the picture up full mass. Let me address this head on because I see the social media threads and commentary about this being an elderly man. Why would anyone want him to die in prison? He could have made an elderly person's mistake. So let me address all of those up front. Andrew D. Lester attempted to kill a 16-year-old child. I don't give a damn what he's charged with. Anytime you put bullets inside of a baby's body, you are trying to kill that child. Andrew Lester is 84 years of age. He has been charged with first-degree assault and armed criminal action, not attempted murder. He remains under bond supervision. No date has been set for his prelim hearing. If found guilty, the maximum he can get, the maximum sentence of life in prison on the assault charge and 3 to 15 years, 3 years to 15 years on the gun charge. Now, he is elderly. The reason why I do not give a damn about his age is because of this picture right here. Because he didn't give a damn about his age. Okay? Lester is accused of shooting a 16-year-old child, Ralph Yarl, on Thursday night after the teen accidentally went to the wrong house to pick up his siblings, being dutiful, being responsible, being a young man. Lester came to the door, shot the 16-year-old in the head. Why is that not attempted murder? That's called the kill zone, red area. Then he shot him again. No words were exchanged before the shooting. Ralph Yarl is now back home recovering with his family. His grandson was interviewed about his background. Here it is.
The prosecutor in this case has suggested that there was a racial component to it. Do you believe your grandfather is racist?
I believe he holds racist tendencies and beliefs. I feel like a lot of people of that generation are caught up in this 24-hour news cycle of fear and paranoia perpetuated by some other news stations. And he was fully into that, sit and watch Fox News all day, every day, blaring in his living room. And I think that stuff really kind of reinforces this negative view of minority groups and leads people to be it doesn't necessarily lead people to be racist, but it reinforces and galvanizes racist people and their beliefs.
According to The Sun, this grandfather was radicalized by Fox News, already likely had existing racist behavior, tendencies, beliefs, biases, but radicalized. Something happened, according to grandson. Now, let me say this to be very clear. It took the national community in order to get the arrest effected here. Because initially they gave the would-be killer, the attempted killer, the man who tried to kill the 16-year-old, they gave him a courtesy ride to the police precinct and then put him on a 24-hour hold, let him go, even though they had the evidence to keep him. You can charge him with putting a minor in danger, okay? Reckless endangerment of a minor. You can do that just to keep him at the jail. They did not. They chose to not charge him until the winds of the public got involved. Once the public got involved, he all of a sudden has charges, not the ones he should. And then the police chief during the press conference says we can't talk about the investigation because it would compromise the integrity of the investigation. But then she makes a remark about this not being racially motivated. No evidence that this is racially motivated or has a racial component. She said this during the same press conference where she said she can't comment on certain things because it would compromise the integrity of the investigation. And then she decided to compromise the integrity of the investigation by saying no racial component according to their investigation thus far. That's problematic because now the prosecutor has had to make a public statement saying there seems to be a racial component. And in the rules of evidence, her statement, because she is an investigator, her statement may be used to provide a legal defense so that this attempted murderer will not be charged with a hate crime. All right. David, thoughts on this?
I mean, this is disgusting on so many levels. I mean, I would take it a step further in terms of Fox News, not just radicalizing this man, this older man, but I think Fox News has not only radicalized a lot of people, they have radicalized gun owners, they have radicalized white supremacists, they have radicalized police who will see African Americans as somehow dangerous and therefore give a pass to somebody like this. Fox has trafficked in fear. And when you traffic in fear and you create an entire society that is fearful of people who are different from you, this kind of thing happens. And it's not just one person. It's not just one shooting. I'd say there's so many different levels of our society that have been poisoned by Fox News, poisoned by a channel that traffics in fear.
Yep, there it is.